Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, after my week's suspension, I'm back. Look, a whole lot's happened over the week. We know that the final election results were announced. We see that Sauter is still in control. There are some things happening in the background. People in the background trying to find a way to keep Sauter from being the person that forms this new government. You know what I'm talking about, Maliki and his friends. We'll cover that as well. And of course, as always, talk about what? Yeah, exchange rate changing. As always, we hear all the chatter about it. Is it going to happen? We're going to see. Before we get started, if you could do me a favor and just hit the thumbs up button, the like button that is. This helps us get past the YouTube algorithms. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. A reminder to everybody that I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a lawyer, nor an accountant. All the information that I share with you is of my own opinion.
Hey, look, I want to talk about this Amber Lolly product again. Whenever something good comes along, I do want to talk about this. My neck, I had a kink in my neck from hell, and the pain was, it gets to a point where you get headaches. So I just grabbed the cream and I rubbed that crap on the back of my neck. After a while, you don't even realize that the pain is gone. You're just going, and how we are several hours later, and I'm still, there's no pain. And it works really quick. I like that. So joint pain and muscles, sore muscles, nice. And then here's the thing about me. I get offered all the time. People want to come on, they want to be sponsors, they want to be this. My thing is, if I don't use your product, I'm not interested. You know, I can sell out everything and make a ton of money, but no, my subscribers to me are very important. But this product here, absolutely, I'm going to endorse this. I like it a lot. AmberLolly.com.
Hey folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right. Gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. So head on over to moneymetals.com and buy gold and silver. That's right, you could personally own it and have it. And keep in mind, if you spend more than $100 on your first purchase, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. You guys know I have this alternative website. I encourage you guys to go check it out, because over here we do have videos that I cannot play on YouTube and videos that have been banned from YouTube. All proceeds go to finding life's purpose. Be careful from people trying to scam you, posing as me. Whenever I reply to your comment, there will be a black circle or a gray circle around my name. If there's no circle or shade around my name, then it's not me. I will not be sending you to WhatsApp or Telegram or Telegraph or anything like that asking you for money. From time to time, I will use material that is considered copywritten. I am just posting this to let you know that I am exercising my fair use rights. Okay, so anyways, I went back to the 30th of December. Right here it tells you, Sule, the government may make changes to the exchange rate, and the dues of Resolution 315 are guaranteed. Here's my thing. The government cannot change the exchange rate. You got to remember that the Central Bank of Iraq is separate than the Iraqi government. They can make requests, they can pressure them, but it is up to the Central Bank of Iraq. They're different autonomy altogether. We'll go over this article because, once again, the exchange rate is in the limelight. The economic advisor to the Prime Minister, Saleh, said on Thursday, December 30th, the next government may make amendments to the 2022 draft budget, although the project was prepared correctly by the Minister of Finance, indicating that those covered by the Resolution 315 will continue dispersing their dues because they approved the law back in the 2021 budget. In an interview with the news, Saleh said the next year's budget was prepared in the Ministry of Finance, but there is a constitutional path and it was supposed to be submitted to the Council of Ministers last October to be referred immediately to the House of Representatives, but because of the dissolution of Parliament, did not have the opportunity to discuss it. And the budget is waiting for the formation of the next government and Parliament to be the first law to be discussed. This is going to be interesting. And I say that because remember, Sauter told everybody he was going to do what he could to change the exchange rate. He kind of campaigned on it. Now, before you go jumping up and down and going overboard, stay grounded. I still think you're going to see it go up in increments, or else it's going to shock the economy too much. We don't want them to go backwards. We want them to go forward. Said that the next government will discuss the budget, amend and add, may make changes to the exchange rate according to the oil markets. And remember, once they're out of Chapter 7 and they no longer have to send X amount of percent of their oil revenues to Kuwait, they get to get that money back. So that's going to be a big help. Noting that all these things will not be delayed because the budget is prepared correctly, but there are some adjustments here and there that the next government needs to take care of. He continued and said, even if the approval of the budget is delayed, the disbursements will be according to the 12-1 of the actual expenses. What their laws say is this: if a budget isn't passed on time, they continue with the rules, policies, and procedures of the previous year's budget. So the 12-1 means they're going month by month, is all they're doing. And that goes according to the actual expenses, and those covered by Resolution 315 approve their entitlements of the 2021 budget, and it becomes a reality and prepared for disbursements in the 2022 budgets. So what this paragraph goes on to say is, look, this law was already passed, agreement was already made, even though they have not approved the 2022 budget yet, it is prepared. Until it's actually voted on and passed, they're going to continue with the 2021 budget. That's what the 12-1 is. But definitely the disbursements need to continue over to Kuwait. So Saleh goes on to say Kuwait's money was deducted from oil money and Iraq's revenue, and these funds will be added to the budget, which makes a good financial space. Heck yeah, it does. They need to do what they can to continue with infrastructure, building the private sector, getting more people to work. You know the story. This is going to help out a whole lot when it comes time to go ahead and make the change to the rate of the dinar. So Al-Kazemi, we succeeded in providing $12 billion from the reserves of the Central Bank of Iraq. Said during the cabinet session held today, according to the statement issued by his office as a result of the white paper, and despite the difficult circumstances, the corona pandemic and the collapse of the oil prices, we were on the verge of a collapse of the political and social system. But we succeeded in providing more than $12 billion from the reserves of the Central Bank of Iraq and raising Iraq's international credit rating. Now remember, I think it was about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, when the rating dropped. Them having their international credit rating improve is a big major step, is a big part of the currency exchange rate. Iraq was close to being classified as a rogue state, but we succeeded in foreign relations, and within a short period of time, Iraq regained much of its regional and international Arab and Islamic role. And we succeeded in improving our relations as well as embracing more than one meeting of brothers, friends, and neighbors on the ground. Baghdad, the land of peace. Yeah, he actually went ahead, and you can see in this other article, laid out all the success since he's been in office. And we know a lot of these. I've spoken about them many times. There has been a lot of positive changes in Iraq since Al-Kazemi has been in office. I keep hoping that he's getting reelected, but one article says he has less than a 20% chance of being reelected just based on negotiations and making sure that Sauter's bloc has the most seats in parliament. We'll see where it goes. So I like how they word this. Plot twist. Maliki's comrades abandon him to join Sauter. I think if you ask a lot of people over there in Iraq, they're just tired of the status quo, things always being in disarray. They're ready to just get back on track and live a peaceful, prosperous life. You do have some Iranian puppets, but there's more things on his mind than being a puppet for Iran. I told you, he's trying to negotiate his way out of trouble. It says that after nearly 3 months of controversy, the page of Iraq has been turned to open the chapter of the largest bloc headbutting in a quest to form the next government. It seems that Maliki's State of the Law bloc is continuing on the dialogue scheduled to take place soon between the Coordination Framework's delegation and the Saudar's bloc. And informed sources close to Al-Hana, Saudar's resident in Najaf, said that, however, the largest may not include the Shiite forces as he aspires, given that some of the framework's parties did not approve the government's program al-Sadr seeks to implement. But let's get to the real reason why Maliki is seriously stressing. Look right here. The framework forces are trying to exert pressure on the Saudar's bloc to loosen its stance in exchange for joining him in a unified Shiite front. Among these conditions, choosing a consensual prime minister and turning a blind eye to some corruption files. Remember I told you that Maliki is trying to save his own ass? There you go. He's like, so, I'll join you if you, you kind of forget what's over here in this hand over here. Let's just let that go. I don't think Saudar's going to let it go. I really don't. There were a lot of people, very, very corrupt people, who screwed over the Iraqi people while they were in office. And I think Saudar's ready to, I think Sauder is in a position to make these people pay for what they did. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Said a forthcoming meeting will bring Sauder and Amiri together, in which the latter may only represent the bloc of Al-Fatah. The distribution of positions and ministerial portfolios will be based on electoral weight rather than partisanship. Furthermore, the chances of Prime Minister Al-Kazemi being reelected are less than 20%. See, they don't want him in there because that's the one guy that will have. In the beginning, remember when Al-Kazemi got in office? Al-Kazemi wanted to go after these people. Then he assassinated his friend to send a message. He didn't have the support then like he would now if he ended up being prime minister. He would go after those people, and one of those people would be Maliki. So you can understand why Maliki's just stressing just a little. The Kurdistan National Party nominates Saleh again for the post of president of the republic. So now the nominees are going out. So first we got to get in there. Parliament has to get in there, have their first session. Once they get in there, then they nominate the speaker and the 2 deputies. And then from there, they start nominating different positions. But one of them they nominate quickly is going to be for the president of the republic. Now, there's a reason to believe that Saleh will repeat and be president once again. I'm also hoping that you will see the same thing happen with Al-Kazemi. He has done a lot for the country, and I think people respect that. Plus, he's been able to balance out all the different sectors and keep them at peace with one another. So, congrats to, we'll see here, Saleh. I'm sure he'll get in. I don't have no doubt in that one. It says here that oil is set to end the year with the biggest annual gain since 2009. We're going to see what happens after the first quarter of 2022. Remember, they were already, the World Bank as well as the International Bank were putting out signs saying that they anticipate a drop in oil prices again as people try to get away from using oil. Or you might see some magical new variant come out and boom, there it is. That's what I think it is. But we'll see. Hopefully not. I don't think Iraq is quite in position yet to do what they need to do. That's just my opinion. This is good news. It says supporters of the Shiite framework raise the sit-in tents from central Baghdad. Yes, they're going home. No more protests. That means what? Security and stability. No uprisings. So since word came down from the framework telling everybody, look, accept the results, go home, that's exactly what's going on as people clear out of the green zone. That's great news. So it says in here in details, this is what will happen in the first session of the Iraqi parliament. Yeah, I think I just said that. I read this earlier. It just said that. First thing they're going to do is the eldest person becomes the oldest person becomes the speaker. They go ahead and they start nominating the speaker and the two deputies. And then from there, they will start a new session. And right away, within 30 days, have to have a president named. I think Soleil is going to be that president. So then after that, the different positions in there, and they move forward from there. So Soleil went on to confirm that the success of the government's economic policy in 2021, they were able to achieve a whole lot. They were on the brink of disaster. Remember this? They're about to go bankrupt. They haven't paid fees in months. They haven't paid salaries in months. They devalued the dinar and it saved them. And then the rest of the year, the oil prices went up. Things went really well. And really, they were on the brink and they came back from it. So nice move, but we'll see where they go from there. We know now that the American and international coalition forces are now out of Iraq. If they're out of Iraq, there you go, Iraq. Congratulations. Your sovereignty is restored. The 112 system enters into force in Iraq. Remember, I was talking about how they just carry over the policies from and budget from 2021. They just do it 1 month at a time. This article goes on to say that people are, again, making sure that Sadr has the largest bloc when it comes to the parliamentary. Just because he had the most seats won doesn't mean he has the largest bloc. I believe he has to have over 80 seats in order for him to have full control. So there are other groups that are willing to band together to keep Sadr from forming his government. So Sadr's doing what he can right now to prevent that from happening. And then finally you have here, you can see the legal expert. It's our friend Tariq Herb. Confirmed today, Sunday, that the concept of the largest parliamentary bloc will be determined in the first session of the House of Representatives and not before it. Herb said in a statement, any talk of present time about the largest bloc is meaningless because the process of assigning a prime minister is the last stage of the political process. So the talk should focus on the blocs that support the parliament candidate. According to the law, the Speaker of the House of Representatives must be chosen first, then the President of the Republic, and then the Prime Minister is assigned, noting that there is a great political and media ignorance in this matter. No prob, Tariq, our friend. We glad that you laid it out there. The election is done, over with, finalized. We have the first session coming up. We have talk about the rate change happening. No numbers are being thrown around. My thought is they'll at least restore it back to where it was before. So it's going to move from 1,450 dinars back to 1,190 dinars. I know for a lot of people, they're like, oh, that sucks. That's not what I wanted. Look, as long as it's going in the right direction, be happy. As long as they continue down this path, follow the white reform papers, it seems to me that these increases are going to happen a lot frequently and at a much bigger chunk than that little jump right there. But I must remind you that when they devalued the dinar, it affected the poor, and Sadr's all about helping out his people. So if restoring the dinar back to its previous rate before they devalued it is going to help out the poor people, that's a great step. I just don't think you're going to see a huge RV or RI. That'd be too much of a shock to the system. That'd be too much of a shock to the economy. Okay, I might be wrong. You guys, I know a lot of you don't want to hear that, but I might be wrong. They might roll out and give us an RI or an RV. That's possible, but I just don't see it happening. Not yet. And you shouldn't be deterred by what I'm saying, because I do think the rate change is going to get to a point that we all love easily in a short period of time. I'm not going to give you a time frame, though, because I don't need people complaining about it. So I don't do dates, I don't do rates, but I think it's going to happen much more faster than people think. It ended with a good year. The election is over. It's time to put the parliament together, pick the president, pick the prime minister. After we get them in office, we're going to see what's going on. I'm hoping it's still crossing my fingers for Al-Kazemi to get in office. So that first stage is already done, not to mention the fact that now the protesters are going home. This is awesome. Stability, security in the country. That's what's needed. Anyways, you guys, that's it for now. You hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.